Although we're conditioned and programmed to believe that we're not a part of this and that our own personal work doesn't matter as much. And that's actually kind of a selfish thing to do. That's programming. And we're going to talk about that because we're going to talk about the second chakra, because the second chakra, if you want to place your hands on your low belly, feel into your second chakra, say hello, hello to your own energy, welcoming all that is there, welcoming the challenges along with the benefits of this energy. So the second chakra is a water chakra. It's fluid, and it's the womb space. If you think about being a baby in the amniotic fluid it's literally life force. It's infinite potential. We have our matter of being a body, right? And like that's matter. But when we're in our mother's womb, when we're in that amniotic fluid, the potential of what we take in and what we digest and what we put back out, that's all dependent on our own ability to tap into our creativity and our pleasure. So the second chakra has to do with creativity and pleasure. It is in our low belly. It is in our womb space, even if you don't have a womb, even if you're a man. And it's also our genitals, our pleasure, our physical, earthly pleasure. Okay, and so the second chakra is one's own abode. I'm looking at my slides here, which I think I'm not going to do because then I'm just going to get distracted from being on both places at once. So I'm just going to pull this up so that I have it to look at, but then I'm not going to look at it anymore, I promise. So the second chakra has to do with our own creation and our own ability. It's like all the potential is there, and we get to decide what we create. It's about creation. And if we are going to be in our pleasure or if we're going to be in our guilt. Guilt is it's the opposite of being in our pleasure, is being in our guilt, and really looking at what within us we need to forgive. What within others, situations, things that happened. We know that 1 in 3 girls, 1 in 5 boys, probably higher, but that's reported, that has some kind of sexual abuse throughout their childhood from 0 to 18. And so because of that, one of the lower vibrational feelings is guilt. And guilt comes from a place of feeling bad about feeling into pleasure, feeling bad about being in our bodies, feeling shame around our bodies. And it's interesting because it's that low belly energy, and so many men and women have insecurities around their belly. And hi, if you're just joining me. So we're talking about the second chakra today. And the second chakra is all about our creation and the potential that we have to create if we are in, if you're coming on the Zoom call, just make sure you're muted if you don't want to have your, you can ask questions and stuff, but if you don't want to have your audio in the back, or if you have kids around, you can just put yourself on mute. So the second chakra, and a lot of people have insecurities about their body and what they eat and what they put into their body. And the water of the second chakra is kind of, can you take ownership of what you create, what you take in, and what you give out? Can you have connection to those things without feeling guilt or shame? What are you inspired to create? What do you have passion for in this lifetime? And sometimes the only thing holding us back from creating whatever that thing is a sense of being too selfish or wanting too much for yourself. But that's why you're here. That's why you're in a body. If you weren't meant to be in a body, you would be in, we all have our own individual body, and we have that for a purpose. So ego can go both ways. Ego can both keep you from the worthiness of creation, but it can also keep you from celebrating that creation. So the worthiness and the celebration and the knowing that it's not what you have is the unique way that you're going to put it out into the world, and the understanding that we all have a different flair that we bring to life and to these situations, and respecting that is the biggest thing. So one of the things to really tap into with the second chakra is, where in your life have you noticed this guilt, kind of little shadowy monster of guilt coming into your life? Is it around not giving enough? Is it around burning out and overgiving? Is it around what you haven't shared? Is it around maybe being in a place where you didn't have enough to share? These are the things to really think about and consider when we consider the second chakra, and really coming into the present moment around this, because we all have had situations in our lifetime where we have been forced, especially in childhood, where we have been forced to not have good boundaries, to not have solid boundaries. And boundaries is one of the main ways that we tend to our own abode. So the second chakra is one's own abode, and it's all about pleasure. And when we think about that, it's really our responsibility to keep everything that's contained inside of our energy field feeling good to us personally. And guilt is going to keep us from being able to celebrate that. So when we're thinking about the idea that the second chakra is one's own abode, and we're wanting to be in a place of permission for creation and permission for pleasure, we really have to look at the things that in our past or in our fear we have around being in our pleasure and creating. So let's all feel into our second chakra. If you can close your eyes, go ahead and do so. If you want to open your eyes, you can. Just really place your hands on your low belly, feel into your second chakra, and feel into that waters, the water of creation, the water of all that is. And I want you to tune in and see how much there's flow here. Like, how much flow are you feeling here? On a scale from 1 to 10, how much flow are you feeling here? Now, overactive, right, 10 to 20, is where it's almost like a boastful and overactive second chakra can be overly, like, only seeing value and only seeing affirmation from being a sexual being or from being a creator. Now, this can come across in a lot of ways, but that's the ego side, or an overactive. If the first chakra overactive is kind of control, the second chakra overactive is over, I don't want to say over embodied, but there's like the sense of pleasure's all that matters, and it's almost like a false alignment with being in your pleasure. I hope that makes sense. But we're looking at, most people that I work with are 1 to 10. So feel into your second chakra, feel into those waters, and give it a number from 1 to 20, 1 to 10, and notice where you're noticing flow, what number you would give it. And then the main thing about being in our second chakra and allowing more flow here is to really feel into pleasure. So go ahead, close your eyes if you can or want to, and imagine yourself in your full, like 100% full pleasure, without any shame, guilt, remorse, fear. And when we're in our full pleasure, we're in our full openness, we're in our full bloom. And so go ahead and just close your eyes and envision whatever this looks like to you. Notice the colors, notice the sensations. Maybe there's smells, maybe you're, around all these flowers. Maybe you have you're being anointed with, essential oils, whatever the thing is. Just envision yourself in your full 100% full pleasure, full permission to be in your body, to be in that permission to be in your own pleasure in your body. And with that comes full ownership of your body. It's your space. It's your space to claim. So go ahead, in your mind's eye, claim this space. claim it as a safe space, first chakra, and claim it as a pleasurable space, second chakra. This is your space to create. Notice if when you're in your full pleasure, if you notice any colors, sounds, sights, or anything that you feel called to create from that place of full pleasure. And just breathe into the space, let yourself fully be in that pleasure, be in that creation, be in that excitement, that opening. Notice where you feel this in your body and where you might feel a little bit of resistance or a pullback. And just breathe into those places where you feel the resistance, reminding yourself that we're just playing, we're just playing, we're just having fun. And in your full pleasure, notice what is the biggest aha for you in this space? Where do you feel the biggest flow? Where do you notice the biggest shifts happening in your energetic body and your physical body? And just keep breathing here. And then notice, check back in, where are you at with your body and your emotions and your energetic body? And where do you feel like your second chakra is now after kind of envisioning yourself in your full pleasure? And I just want to remind you that energy leads matter. So as you're cultivating and building these skills of envisioning yourself in these places, you're literally calling your matter, your body, your energy, you're calling it into more of that place. And anything that comes up as resistance to being in your pleasure is literally coming up as resistance to being. And so if you can think of it that way, instead of thinking about, oh, well, this seems logical that I'd be afraid of this because this and this and this, instead seeing it as right away when it comes up, calling it out for what it is. This is trying to keep me from being, and I'm asking it to go. And this is really huge. I've never worked with anyone who didn't have some type of resistance to embodying their full potential, right? This is just a part of life. And even though those fears come up, we can hear that and ask it to move along. But we don't want to be led from our fear. And that's what we're kind of globally right now. There's forces that want us to be led from our fear. And so we're just saying, hell no, no way, not happening, not today, Satan. And we are deciding and choosing to create from that place of pleasure. So really take a quick body scan. Notice how your body's feeling right now. Notice how your energy, your muscles, your senses, if they're heightened or what's happening for you, and really allow yourself to feel and express more of that pleasure throughout. I'm noticing my shoulders getting lit up. So I'm just bringing some beautiful energy there of just spaciousness and breath. And just bring in the light that you want to feel. And you have the ability to do this with your imagination. And it's great because it's we're told that that's not real, but it actually is the only thing that's real. That's the only thing that's real. And so I appreciate you guys being here and really celebrating the second chakra. If you haven't already gone through and done your second chakra meditation, that's available on your email. And if you're not getting my emails, let me know, or click the link in my welcome video, which is down, I think it's 2 videos down, so that you'll be getting those emails. And let's see, if you want to participate in the giveaway, I'm doing a giveaway of the Intuitive Development Online course, which is amazing. I think it's a 6-module course that helps you develop your intuition more fully. Obviously here, we're just doing a very, basic, not basic, but I can only go so deep. So if you want to either work with me or check out that online intuitive development course, you can go to my website. But also if you want to be entered in the giveaway that I'm doing, all you need to do is on your social media, either on your Facebook, not in the group, but on your Facebook or your Instagram, tag something about this challenge. Like maybe it's a screenshot of a video of mine, or maybe it's a screenshot of your worksheet, or maybe it's just you, you know, using any of the tools that we are talking about, or using an essential oil that we've talked about, or using a crystal that we're talking about, and just tag Sparkle and Shine Guidance. You can say you're doing the challenge, or you don't have to, but giving a shout out in some way to collectively, so that I can see that you are doing this challenge, because it's so easy to sign up for a challenge, and it's a little bit harder to follow through, especially in the times that we're in. So I really want to applaud those of you that are doing it. So I wanted to do this giveaway. So I think it's two posts, and then just showing up here in whatever way, introducing yourself into our group, or commenting on any of the videos. And if you're watching the playback of this, please let me know what came up for you. If you're feeling tapped into your second chakra, if you're feeling a little bit more disconnected, which is totally normal as well. And there's going to be days where we feel more connected and days where we feel less connected. Since it is the water chakra, though, the first chakra is about, getting outside, getting by trees. Somebody asked about that, like when it gets colder out, what do you recommend? I still get out, like even if it's snowy. I mean, I'm lucky that I don't live in a totally bitter cold place, but getting near trees, even in the dead of winter, is going to help you. And also, you can earth anywhere. You can earth in your home. And it's literally about that permission to know that you can connect to that energy anytime you choose to. So working with your root chakra, is going to help you magnetize more to that earth energy. So it's just about practice. And then the second chakra is about water. So making sure you drink enough water, getting near a waterfall, getting near, a lake, but also just literally just making sure you have enough water is going to help you flush out any of the things that keep you from disconnecting with your pleasure. When we don't get enough water, it's one of the lead causes of anxiety, is not being hydrated. And so that's just like a little bit, remember to drink water. And yeah, that's it. So thank you guys for being here.